Hello everybody and welcome to the Soulmate Experience. Well, now the channel is called Shadow Healer 101. It used to be the Soulmate Experience, but I changed the name to Shadow Healer 101 less than a month ago. But welcome to my channel, and I'm going to be having a discussion. This video I've tried to do, this is the third try. The first time I did the video on Sunday, it was an hour 17 minutes. I said, okay, I need to make it shorter. I did it on Monday. It was an hour 23 minutes. So it actually went longer, and I was like, damn it. So now I'm gonna try to do it again the third time. I have my phone here because I made a few notes, and I'm gonna be adding notes and removing notes as I go along. If you know, I'm trying to make the video about maybe like a healthy 40 minutes, maybe 45, and I don't want it to go over an hour essentially. But there's just so much to talk about, and I've tried to make some notes so that I can better direct myself, that way I don't go into rambling, so I can easily go from one topic to the other. Okay, but it's a lot to talk about, and it's based on this Mercury retrograde and in Scorpio that we've had. And you guys know I've done a talk about Oshun and Yemoja. I called it Oshun versus Yemoja. Be careful what you wish for. And this is gonna be the part two of that video. But I'm gonna be focusing a lot on Oshun and Oya. I talked some about Oya in that previous video, but now I'm gonna talk about Oshun and Oya, and I'm gonna talk some about Yemoja because Yemoja is part of the reason I'm in this mess right now. Not in a bad way, but she's part of the reason I'm in this mess right now. So let's get started. First of all, before I begin, I want to say I started. I know this. I know this video is going to be titled "Why Narcissists Are Great," and I know a lot of you that are not spiritual or not in the spiritual realm, you've come just for that scientific aspect of it, and I will be touching on that. But the message came to me in the form of a spiritual awakening as well, in the form of shaman sickness. If you don't know what shaman sickness is, then you can go Google that. I was literally, I practically died, and that's why I cannot separate the message from the spirituality, because I learned the message through spirituality, or through spiritual means, through my shaman sickness and the spirits that came to me. So the first message I got a few months ago, and I have a few cards on the table to kind of help us navigate, and I have a penny here, and I'm going to discuss everything in due time. The first message that had come to me a few months ago, and those of you that have been with the channel for a while, you know that I talked about this, it was people value what is valuable, and that was given to me by Oshun about 5 or 6 months ago. I started talking a lot about Oshun on my channel. I know she showed up in Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, Virgo, and I think like Capricorn's reading. And she showed up strong, and she told me people value what is valuable. And I thought at that time, oh, I got it. I know what that means. Oshun, by the way, for those of you that don't know, Oshun is a goddess of beauty, of arts, creativity, dance, all the good, pretty much the sweet things in life, the good things in life. She is the goddess of the good emotions, the good feelings in life. So sex and that kind of stuff. And she's part of a divine feminine, the divine feminine, which is the sacred trinity of Vodun, which is Yemoja, Oshun, and Oya. And she's 3 in 1, and there's a 3 in 1 masculine as well, that as pertaining to that. So Oshun's message to me about 5 or 6 months ago was people value what is valuable. And I thought I'd gotten it, because when she told me that I increased my ritual prices, I made them more expensive, and then my readings kind of took off, my rituals kind of took off. I didn't increase my readings prices, but I did increase my rituals prices, like 50 or about $70 more on each of them. And it kind of took off, and I thought, okay, I got it. She gave me a message, I applied it, and it worked. No, I didn't get it at all. And it took this Scorpio energy, which, by the way, Scorpio is the energy of Oya, transformation, forced transformation. It is the most intense energy in the zodiac. I don't know why people give Scorpio to Oshun. Have you smoked weed? Oshun does not govern death. Have you smoked crack? And this is the problem, and this is why I started doing these talks. People are just adding everything and pulling things out of their asses and attaching it to Oshun. It's like everybody is giving everything else, to all the other Orishas, to Oshun. And I get it, she's the fun and the sparkly one, and and she's helped me a lot, and she's stepped forth for me a lot. But do not negate the other feminines. Oshun is not the divine feminine, first of all. She's a part of the divine feminine. There are three in one. Oshun is not the mother. Yemoja is the mother. Oshun is not a goddess of magic. Oya is a goddess of magic because she governs paradigms. And Oya stepped in to teach me a lesson. And I just came out of this lesson 2 days ago. So it is very fresh in my mind, and that's why I talked about it on Sunday. Today's Wednesday, and I'm gonna go post all my videos online. But I talked about it on Sunday. The video was too long. I talked about it today and whatever. So Oya stepped in. Oya is considered the goddess of death. I have a card right here, death. And if you know anything about spirituality, death doesn't necessarily mean that death. Death is about transformation, transmutation, alchemy, right? And Oya governs but I like to call her the goddess of, and some people have now started getting the message, and they're now calling her the goddess of change. But I call her the goddess of space and paradigms. Now let's talk about what is a paradigm. A paradigm is it's a hard concept to put into words, but let me put it this way. If you step out of your house, we all exist within a paradigm, and a paradigm is our method of processing, of understanding, of our perspective and our perceptions of the world, and processing things that happen, and how we think and how we perceive everything, and that's a paradigm. So you get stuck in a paradigm. A lot of us are stuck in a paradigm. We're conditioned to be in a paradigm, and there's just nothing you can do with it about that. So if you step out of your house and you walk on the street, and a car is driving by you, your paradigm, your perspective, and the way you look at that car and what you feel like you need to do, you might become tense because you don't know if that car is going to speed up or if the car is going to slow down for you to cross the road or whatever. And but that's your paradigm, that's your existence, that's your perspective, and that's how you're viewing that event playing out. And the person in the car who is looking at you is going through a similar paradigm but different, because their perspective, first of all, they're in a car, so the way they look at you is very different already, and the way they see you is very different already. And then they're also wondering, are you going to slow down, or should I drive, should I not, should I pause, so they exist within their own paradigms. And then you go higher above, and there's a bird flying over you guys, and the way the bird perceives that event is very different. The bird doesn't give a shit. The bird doesn't know that there's going to be an accident. Their paradigm is very different. They don't have that consciousness that you two have. But their paradigm and even their point of view, looking up from above and looking at you two, is very different. The bird could be looking for to see a worm, or stand in water somewhere where they can go get a worm. Their paradigm is very different. And then there's above that bird, there might be a plane, and that plane might be looking at you people down there as ants. Have you ever seen an ant? You know how tiny ants look? And if you've ever been in a plane, you know that like everybody looks like an ant, and that's if you can even see them. So they might be looking at you as an ant and not even understanding what is happening because you guys are too far away. But that person is existing within a different paradigm. Do you kind of get what I'm trying to say? So she governs space and paradigm. And yes, space and paradigm are directly connected. It's kind of like space and time. You cannot separate them. They're directly connected because it's all about what happens where, how, when, what event unfolds, how do we feel. It's all about how we perceive and interact and affect the world. As I'm moving my hand right now, I am affecting the air around me. So that's Oya's domain. She governs paradigms. Now, how this matters and why it matters so much is because Oya stepped in. And I don't know if you guys know about what a shaman's. Now, actually, let me tie it first into narcissism. For those of you that don't want to sit through the whole thing, the spiritual aspect of it, let me just go into the narcissism, and then I can talk about the other parts at the end of the video. Narcissists have a very important message, and this is one thing that Oya showed me that I did not understand. There is nothing not valuable on this earth. Even the things you don't understand, they have value to something or to someone, or their value may not. It's the same thing I always tell people. The sun has been hanging up over our head, guys, for billions of years. And it's just now that we're learning that we can use it for energy, and we don't have to destroy our ozone layer to do that. But that sun has been there, and it's been feeding us before we even knew it was feeding us. That sun has always had value. But we did not understand the value of the sun. And it just goes, and this actually, the whole lesson was about value. And it goes back to what Oshun had told me 6 months ago. People value what is valuable. And as pertaining to my life. Now, why does this tie into narcissism? Because the way Oya showed it to me, because Oya came with her own message, and she told me, and this was 3 days ago or 4 days ago, that this message came into my head, and I had to meditate for a while to really get it. And she said, love those who love you, wish the rest the best. Love those who love you, wish the rest the best. Now that's contradictory to what a lot of people are saying out here. Give your love freely, just do good to people because they deserve it, and everybody deserves love and blah blah blah. No, she told me a very simple message, and it started actually when I was talking on the phone with someone, and it came to me, love those who love you. And then when I got on the phone, it was love those who love you, and there was a pause, and it said wish the rest the best. And it's so funny. Have you guys ever had a situation where you're listening to a song? Like, for example, there's this Aaliyah song, Rock the Boat. I am a huge fan of Aaliyah. I think she's the most beautiful thing that ever existed. And there's this song called Rock the Boat. And as a kid, I would sing that song, rock the boat, work it. These are the lyrics. Rock the boat, work it in the middle, change positions, stroke it for me, stroke it for me, stroke it for me. Stroke it. And as a child, I am here singing this song, but I didn't understand. My paradigm was different then, but I didn't understand what it meant. And there's a certain amount of shifting that has to happen for you to really understand certain things about life and the value of certain things. Because when Oshun had told me people value what is valuable, I thought of it in such a small-minded way of money, or small, such a tiny-minded way. And that is precisely why you will see situations of let me talk first of all about the narcissist. Narcissists exist in a paradigm, and this is why the video is called Why Narcissists Are Great. And this is a lesson to all of us, and it's a lesson especially to healers, because we healers, we have a tendency to give and give and give, and we're told that that's a good thing. It's not. There's a reason why a lot of us have very troublesome and tumultuous lives, and we don't grow and we don't get better. And I always tell people, if you are poverty, first of all, is a manifestation of your energy. If you are a poor person, you are not healthy. There is no reason why a healer or a healthy person should be poor. You don't have to be a billionaire, but poverty. Yes, it's true, you can go through lessons of poverty, but poverty itself is already an indication that something is wrong, very wrong in your energy. Same way, having a toothache or a decaying tooth is an energy that there's something wrong. When you feel pain, it's an indication that there's something wrong. When you exist in a state of anxiety and uncertainty of how am I going to pay my rent, it's already an indication that there's something wrong in your energy. Whether you call yourself a healer, and that I'm speaking to myself as I'm saying this too, because like I said, my paradigm had to really shift. And this is exactly why I've been meeting narcissists. For those of you that remember, I had a Pisces narcissist. I've met a lot of narcissists in my life. And a lot of healers, will tell you that they tend to meet, or sympathetic people, empaths, they'll tell you that they tend to meet a lot of narcissists. I know this motherfucker is not mowing the lawn when I'm doing my reading. Ogun, Father of Technology, stop this sound. Ogun, Father of Technology, stop this time. Yahweh. So it was very different in the way that it manifested, because my paradigm really did have to shift. the way I looked at the world, the way I looked at things, the way I perceived myself had to shift. Narcissists exist in a paradigm where they are the most important thing in existence to them. From the moment a narcissist can start thinking, they are the most important thing in the world. From the moment that they start to reason, they understand that the world is something, or is they can use. I'm gonna anyways, I'm not gonna do anything. I can't do anything. He has to do his job, even though I'm getting irritated, but he has to do his job. But narcissists, in their reality, in their existence, they are the most important things, and they understand that the world is theirs for the taking. That's the first and foremost. We can talk about so many different traits and whatnot, but that is one thing that every narcissist has in common, is that they perceive themselves as the most important thing. And because they perceive themselves in that way, everything a narcissist does adds value to their life. A narcissist does not invest in a friendship that does not add value to their life. A narcissist does not invest in anybody or any relationship that does not add value to their life. And yes, they might do it in a cynical way. And my point is not that you should go and become a narcissist, but my point is people value what is valuable, and a narcissist understands that. And that's why a lot of them, they thrive. And these are things that we say all the time. It's kind of like how I was just saying that we sing songs and we don't really know what they mean, or we might, when we're young and our paradigm has not shifted. Thank you, Ogun, for sending them away. Thank you. Because generally when they're around here, they are here for about 30 minutes, like, because they have to do here and then they have to go in that other, there's a parking lot right there. And I've noticed that after I did that enchantment, he's gone within like 5 minutes. So thank you, Ogun. And that happens a lot. Like, some of my neighbors have cars that ring, like their alarms go off sometimes for like 30 minutes. And there's a building next to me that whose alarm also goes off at night when people break in or whatever, I don't know. But it just goes off, it malfunctions. And it can go on for like 30 minutes. And when it bothers me, I'm doing a reading or something, I will just speak to it and I'll focus on it, and within like 2 minutes it will stop immediately. Same thing with like alarms and that kind of stuff. When I speak to them, literally within like 2 minutes they usually cease. But anyways, to a narcissist, and that's something that I've been noticing, even with the red light. Anyways, there's a whole, maybe I need to make a different video about instantaneous manifestation. Actually, I made a video about it. For those of you that care, if you go, there's a video that I posted called "What the fuck is this?" or something of that sort, WTF. And it's about my laptop dying and me making it come on without charging it and keeping it on for a whole week. And I didn't charge my laptop for a whole week, and it worked for a whole week, and all I did was just speak to it. So for those of you that care, you can go look at that video also. But anyways, the thing about narcissists, they perceive everything as, they look at the world as from a perspective of value. How valuable is a person to me? And that's why they study people and they master the human condition. They have mastered the human condition. A narcissist does not invest in anyone or anything that does not benefit them. And a lot of us, and we say things like this, like we joke, good guy, why do the good guys die young? Good guys finish last. Because the bad guys, so to speak, they get the memo. They understand that. And this is, again, tying back to Oya, and this is one thing that she really had to show me, the death energy. And if you look at Hinduism, and you look at Buddhism, and you look at even Egyptian belief systems, you look at a lot of these ancient belief systems, you look at some of their top deities. You have, in India, you have Kali, you have Shiva. In Africa, you have, or in West Africa, in Vodun, you have Oya, Papa Legba. Those are the big deities. Anansi, you look at Egyptian mythology, you have Set, god of death and chaos. There's always a hierarchy, and generally one of the most important, if not the most important person in their pantheon is a god of chaos or a god of death. And that's because they govern paradigms, they govern change, they govern space. And this ties directly into what Oya has done to me and in shifting my paradigm, in understanding that everybody and everything in my life has to have value. And when Oshun had given me the message about people value what is valuable, in my small-mindedness, before my paradigm shifted, and I went through that shaman sickness, and I literally almost died. And my friend, like I don't know if I've said it already, I was in bed. It was so bad, guys. I couldn't eat. I was vomiting. My friend had to call the Chinese restaurant to come and knock on this door to make sure I was alive. It was that bad. A Capricorn friend. It was that bad. For about a month, I just started falling apart, getting sick, falling apart. And then it hit a point where I was at a low. And I thought I had died, literally. And I didn't understand that I was experiencing shaman sickness. Because my paradigm had to shift. And that's what Oya and these spirits, their job is to do, is to help us ascend beyond where we are when we've outgrown where we are. And that's why they're so important, because they are the ones that govern, really, in a way, how energy flows, what energy to be invested where and what energy to be invested where. They are the ones that govern that energy flow within our universe, because we think that the universe has unlimited energy. It doesn't. And this is something that Oya has been trying to teach me, but she has taught me now for sure. Let me give you an example. And this again ties into value. And I talked about the sun before, but let me talk about another aspect of nature. Let's look at global warming. Let's look at pollution. There's a limited amount of energy we have. The more human beings there are in the world, the more food they need. The more energy is needed to sustain them. The more energy is needed to sustain them, the more we need to deplete our resources. The more we deplete our resources and the nature around us, the more we start to suffer also. Because eventually there has to be a healthy balance. Nature will find its balance within itself. Because guess what's happening now? For example, we've known that we're destroying the universe now since the 1800s, with cutting trees and everything, and the Industrial Revolution and all the smoke and whatnot, and, destroying the ozone layer, and yet, even till today, there are people that would rather believe, and this is what I mean by people value what is valuable. And when you really sit and look, you'll come to realize that most people don't see value in anything. Even up to today, people would rather believe that there's an Illuminati that is planning and creating machines that are messing up with the environment and causing storms and dry seasons, and they are worshiping the devil and they're Satanists, and Beyonce and Jay-Z are part of it, and blah, 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 instead of just accepting the fact and their own accountability, which is that we are cutting down the trees. The trees give us oxygen. They feed on the carbon dioxide, and I think carbon dioxide that we give, and carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide as well are one of the big contributing factors. The gases. I think they call them the green gases that are destroying the ozone layer. If you destroy the ozone layer, it gets hotter, which means that the North Pole. North Pole. Yeah. Wait. Isn't that where Santa is? I'm a Virgo, guys, so I'm having a moment. I can't move forward if I don't say the right thing. I'm one of those people, if I say the wrong thing, I freak out. I was right. The South Pole is where Santa is. Thank you, Jesus. So, and we're wondering why, with the ozone layer, which acts as a blanket and a protective barrier between us and the sun being our source of energy, again, there has to be a balance. The universe maintains its own balance. The universe functions within its own self. But these green gases are now destroying the ozone layer, which is our protective core. And now the sun is melting the North Pole. We're starting to have earthquakes. The universe itself, or the earth itself, seems to be wanting to kill us. And yet people would rather believe that it's because of everything else other than what they're doing. And that is a lesson on the difference between superficial and sincere people. in your life, and when you start to shift. Now, actually, let me open to you, and this is why these videos are so long, because I start to ramble. But let me open to you guys something I saw that I thought was so profound, and I'm going to read it to you guys. Okay, and this is it right here. I saw it on Facebook. I took a picture of it. It was so profound, and literally, and this is how it works when you get in sync with the universe. And it says, as you are shifting, you will begin to realize you are not the person you used to be. The things you used to tolerate have now become intolerable. Where you once remained quiet, you are now speaking your truth. Where you once battled and argued, you are now choosing to remain silent. You are beginning to understand the value of your voice, and there are some situations that no longer deserve your time, energy, and focus. That is what I did not understand. Value. And that's what narcissists get that the rest of us don't get, especially us healers that have been trained and really told so much. And I don't care who says what. I don't care who the fuck tarot reader, spiritualist says what. I don't care, because when I started my journey, I started me and my spirits, and I got my messages directly from the spirits, not from a book, not from reading and writing and taking notes and research. It came directly to me. And that's why I say, no matter who says what, if I get a message against that, then your message is void, because I get mine. Either I summon the spirits, or I'm a shaman and I work with spirits and I summon them, and I get my messages directly from the horse's mouth, not from a book or not from someone else's biased interpretation. And that's why I believe in what I do, and I believe that no matter what I say, it is a truth. Because this is exactly it. That's what we don't get. Narcissists get. It's not about money. And this is what I didn't understand about value. Look at this. And this literally, if I hope I can show you guys, if I can show you, I literally took this picture like 2 or 3 days. And that's why I said that's when the message came in. The word value. You are beginning to understand the value of your voice. And there are some situations that no longer deserve your time, energy, focus. That is what value is. It's not about money. They pay you to go to work because they're paying you for your time. Time is one of the most valuable things you can never get, or you can't buy. It doesn't matter how much Botox you do. Time catches up to everything. Even a stone, living and not no living, even a stone gets watered down. Will get watered down, or will get winded down, or whatever, to dust if you give it enough time. Everything is shaped by time. Value. Your energy, your focus. I have been given, and this is where now this lesson really had to sit in me, and this is where, because I wasn't listening to Oshun and what Oya's job is, and that's why she's considered the goddess of death and storms, because just like how the universe is now, or the planet, our planet is now starting to hit on us, because we've not gotten the memo, and it's warned us and it's shown us several times that there's an issue, but we're not getting the memo. That's Oya's energy. Now she's starting to cause storms. She's starting to cause very uncomfortable situations. She's deleting us pretty much from the system, and that's where we're gonna get to if the more we let it linger and fester, instead of taking care of what needs to be taken care of and making excuses for everything else. The more you realize that it gets more intense and intense and intense, until we will eventually delete ourselves out of the system of existence. Because the universe, we can't destroy the universe. We can't destroy the planet. We can destroy nature. We are part of nature. We are a very small part of nature. We can destroy nature, but nature can destroy us. Nature can make sure that we go extinct. But we can make nature go extinct. Not as a whole, we can't. So it's really about value. And then she told me, if a person cannot appreciate your penny, here is a penny. If a person cannot appreciate this penny, they cannot appreciate a billion. Because every billion starts with a penny, and that's why I have a penny right here. It's all about value. So essentially what the lesson was to me, and what narcissists have that the rest of us don't get, is that people value what is valuable. And your valuable is not necessarily every relationship in your life has to have value. It has to have reciprocity. Everything you give, you must receive back. It doesn't have to be in the same way, but you must receive back. Whether emotionally, physically, monetarily, you can invest emotions and get money back. And if it's satisfying to you, then that's good. If you invest money and get emotionally back, if it is satisfactory, and then that's good. But every single thing in your life has to have value, and every single person in your life has to be categorized by their value. And do not invest in anybody, and I don't care who it is. You do not invest a lot in anybody off the get-go. And if you guys should sit and take notes, because I had to do this for myself, and I had to come to the realization that in my whole life at 26, I just turned 26 September, at 26, there's only one person in my life currently, and I'm talking like intimate friendship, and family and whatnot. There's only one person of everybody that I've known and yeah, I'm talking right now as in intimate friends, not people that come and go and clients and whatnot, but I'm talking intimate friends. There's only one of them that is good to me, that I get in according to what I invest. I am sitting here right now, guys. I have close to $10,000 in the air from clients that have booked rituals and never paid, people I've helped with cancer that never paid, people I've helped get a job that come back to me, and then they tell me, I helped one Scorpio, and I think I've already talked about this already, but I helped a Scorpio get a job, and then she came back to me and she told me my readings were too expensive. I did 2 readings for her, and I did a ritual, a free ritual, and then she comes back to me and she tells me, when she does have money to be able to pay for my rituals and my readings and everything that I've been doing so far for her for free, she's a Scorpio, she comes back to me and she tells me, your readings are too expensive, other people are cheaper, other people do it this other way. It is a scary thing when you come to that realization, but my paradigm had to shift for me to really see that I was surrounded by superficial people. There is no sincerity in a lot of the relationships. Actually, most 99.9% of the relationships I have. And I've said this and I'll keep saying it, if there's one thing nobody can say about me, you can say I'm mad, I'm evil, I'm whatever, is that you cannot say that I'm not sincere. I give 110%. I love hard. When I am down, I am down. When I am gone, I am gone. Everything with me is I do with sincerity. And to reach a point in my life, and you find that a lot of empaths and a lot of healers, they have that way of being too. Self-sacrificing. But that's why we keep attracting narcissists, because they are there to teach us a lesson about self-preservation. Give only as much as you receive. I know that is going to trigger a lot of you because you're not yet at that level. Your paradigm has not shifted. Same way, it's like, how can I put it? Same way you hear about, celebrities, who, and I think I just talked about this. You hear about celebrities and people that win the lottery, and they're rich for a while and then they go broke. Their paradigm has not shifted. They're not existing within that paradigm of wealth. So they will useless the money. Same way thieves will need to go stealing. Someone can steal $1 million, but if they're in the paradigm of a thief, they will still need to go and steal. They will take that money has no value. They don't understand the value of the money. They're a poor person with a lot of money. They're not a rich person. Their paradigm is that of a poor person who has a lot of money, but they are not a rich person. Their paradigm has not shifted. So what do? They take that money and it's like fire in their hands. They gotta throw it away. They're trying to wipe it out. And before you know it, in a few years, they go bankrupt. And they go back to the same place they were, or even worse than they were before. Their paradigm did not shift. You see this with a lot of celebrities, rappers especially. You see this with athletes. Their paradigm has not shifted. You see this with lottery winners. Their paradigm has not shifted because they don't understand value and they don't understand what is valuable. And this also goes into now, even when your paradigm starts to shift, and that's what they said here. You know, people won't understand what is happening. And I got that message very clearly, that, and I'm not even trying to force anybody to understand where I am right now in my life, because if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you won't, because your paradigm has not shifted, because you don't understand where I am in my life. I'm no longer in that love and light. Actually, I haven't been in that love and light energy for a very long time, but I'm happy that my journey has finally led me now to a different level of ascension and understanding. My paradigm has shifted, and I can look at things now from a very, everything in my life now is benefit. Everybody in my life now has a purpose. Everything I put my time and energy into, even this video I'm doing, it has a purpose. And that purpose is to benefit me, whether emotionally, physically, financially, mentally, whatever. It's benefiting me one way or another. Everything I do, I am living a life of purpose now. I'm not going with the wind anymore. I'm not letting you drag me into your drama anymore. I'm not letting you drag me into your pain anymore. I'm not letting you guilt me into helping you. I'm not letting you do any of that to me anymore. My paradigm has shifted. What benefit? And I implore you guys to look at everything you do in your life from this perspective. How does this benefit me? And another thing Oya has shown me, stop trying to be a good person. Be a healthy person. The tricky part with being a good person and being a healthy person, let me see what the time is. Oh, not bad, 36 minutes. The tricky part with being a good person and being a healthy person, a good person goes out of their way to do good to others, to be there for others, to provide, to be, support, to a support system for others. That's a good person. A healthy person, the tricky part about being a good person, first of all, is that a lot of times a good person is, they start to lose themselves in that. And that's something, like I said earlier, it's part of Moja's fault that I'm here, because she's the one that, but they start to lose themselves in being a good person. They start to feel like it's a right, and the people they help start to feel like it's a right. And a lot of people, they become enablers, because they will see bad behavior, but because they're so busy and because we've been so conditioned to think in the terms of being a good person and you have to help even when you don't have, but that's what a good person does. So we start to help and we start to feel guilty when we can't help, or when we feel like, and then we help and we notice that the person isn't helping themselves, then we start feeling resentful. Why aren't you helping yourself? Why aren't you helping me? That's what happens when you're a good person. When you're a healthy person, you give a person a penny and you watch what they do with the penny. And that's not mean you have to watch them closely, but you just watch. Passively. It's easy for me to do because I'm a Virgo and I keep records of anything and anyone. I keep records on anything and everyone. You give a penny to a person and you watch what they do with it. And that's another thing narcissists are very good at. They monitor the human condition. They monitor a person, and that's why they're so good at knowing your triggers. They monitor you. They keep records of everybody and what that person's value is to them. And that's why, again, narcissists thrive so well, because they don't invest in anybody that does not benefit them, or in anything that does not benefit them. So as a person, I will give you this penny and I'll watch what you do with this penny. You will give me this penny back. If you give me this penny back, next time I'll give you 2 pennies. And watch what you do with it. You give me 2 pennies back, next time I give you 3 pennies. And when I start to realize, and it might sound too calculative, but one thing you come to realize is that it gets easier to do. And that's the 9 of Pentacles energy. It gets a lot easier to do when you start to master it. It's one of those things where it might be harder to do when you just start off. But when you've had 1, 2, 3 experiences, and you've been able to detect where the dirt, so to speak, is it becomes a lot easier as time goes on, and you don't need to kill yourself trying to figure out what's going on. You know what I mean? So with this penny and how I'm looking at myself and my time and my energy and my focus and what I'm giving to everybody in my life right now, and like I said, there's only one person in my life I came to realize, apart from my parents, actually even my dad, I had to call my dad and let him have it. And I love my dad, and my dad is a great dad, but he had done something to me that I didn't realize until recently. And I had to call him and let him have it. And it's a very simple thing. He had planted fear in me. Fear. And I told him I can't live in fear anymore. So, but there's a whole thing, maybe I might make a different discussion about that. But from henceforth, I want all of you to look at this and understand that that's the purpose of a narcissist in the world. That's the purpose of narcissists in the world. Their job is to teach us about value and preservation and how to live a healthy life, as opposed to what everybody else tells you to be a good. Some of us are so tied to that word good. It's like if someone doesn't even like you or doesn't, you will crumble apart. Like, why don't they like me? Why don't they care about me? Why don't they? No, you're a broken person. You're not a healthy person. If you're a healer or wherever in your life you are, if you are anxious about your rent, if you are anxious about how you're going to get by the next day, you are not in a healthy standing, because it means that you're not investing enough in yourself, you're not investing enough in your opportunities, you're not surrounding yourself with people that are building you up. And that's one thing I came to realize about myself. I have invested so much in everybody around me, and I've given so much that I am hollow, I am empty. I had nothing left, and that's why I crumbled so hard. Because it was like, why do I have to beg you? Even people I do readings for, rituals for, why do I have to beg you to pay me? Why do I have to run after you to pay me? You came to me, your mom had cancer. I helped. You came to me, your sister had cancer. I helped. You came to me, you had cancer, because I've had quite a few cancer patients. I helped. Why do I have to beg you to reply an email or run after you? I borrowed you $200. Why do I have to beg you to pay me back my $200? So I'm not even talking about things that I'm just talking about contracts, even on the bare minimum. And that's why I say I have close to $10,000 in the air. I've added it up, literally close to $10,000 in the air. I've been doing this for 2 years, and I have close to $10,000 in the air. But I can't get mad at them, because every time I gave a free reading, every time I gave, knowing that my rent was, I did not have money for my rent yet, knowing every time I gave a free ritual, every time I went out of my way to help or borrowed money to this person, I was teaching them how to treat me. I was teaching them that my penny was not valuable. I can't get mad if I give them 1 penny and they don't give me back a penny. And then the next week, I gave them 2 Palo Santos and they don't give me back the Palo Santos. The next week, I give them 2 oils and they don't give me back 2 oils. Next week, I give them a pot, they don't give me back a pot. And then I get mad that you're taking from me. They have shown me who they were this whole time. I just didn't understand the value of everything that I was giving to them. But they understood the value of it. And again, that is why narcissists thrive. They don't invest in anything that does not invest in them. They don't put energy into anything that does not put energy into them. And we, to some degree, have to learn. And it's not from a cynical perspective, but your paradigm, I guess, really has to shift so that you can learn on how to invest in what invests in you. Because in as much as we want to, and this is where also, and I was talking about Kali, and there's a reason why you look at these ancient religions before monotheism became a thing. And even if you look at the Old Testament, you will notice that even God in the Bible was very destructive. And he would say it himself, I am the builder and I am the destroyer. I am life and I am death. He would say it himself, I am the I am that I am. The reason why these entities of paradigms and death and destruction have such an important part in nature and in so many of these, you know, how was the word, polyistic religions, monotheism, polytheism, polyistic. Sorry, I can't figure out the word. I'm sorry, guys. I've done quite a few readings and I'm having a slow day. But there is a reason why in these poly religions, this, you know, with multiple gods or however you want to look at it, that they had, there's a lot of their gods, their main deities were so dark or evil or whatever. You know, it's because they understood that the world was not made of love and light. Let that sink into your brains. The universe is not made of love and light. The universe is made of chaos. The reason it's chaotic by nature is danger. It's dangerous, it's dark. It has light, but it has darkness also. The reason we align ourselves with spirituality, with religion, is so that we can make sense of the chaos. We can find patterns within the chaos. And this is one thing I tell you, I kid you not, Oya has opened my mind in a way that I could talk to you guys for the next 50 hours and I don't think you guys would even understand. But those of you that get it will get it. The reason why they have such an important part is because the universe is not that of chaos, it's not that of peace and tranquility and whatever. It's imperfect. It's not a perfect world. It's an imperfect world. It is corrupted. It is twisted. But it is what it is, and that's how it functions. It is perfect imperfection. We align ourselves with religion, spirituality, and certain walks and faiths because we want to understand and we want to have, to some degree, some control within all this chaos. That's why people come and watch tower readings to understand, okay, something is coming forward. How can I prepare? Okay, they are trying to decrypt the universe and their situation and get enlightenment through that process. That's why we turn to these things. And it's funny because we do it, but we don't know. And we say these things, good guys finish last and blah, 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 blah. And narcissists, they succeed and blah, 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 blah. And we say opportunistic people always win. Yes, it's true, because they get it. They don't invest in anybody that does not invest in them. They don't invest in anything that does not invest in them. For everything that they give, they get something back. And when they realize you're not giving anything back or they cannot manipulate you, they stop. And I'm not telling you to be a narcissist, but I'm telling you to adapt that mindset of value. Value yourself. Value your time. Value your energy. Value your focus. Everything you focus on, give, love. Even if it's just a good feeling, then let that value be that it's a good feeling. You know, it doesn't have to be something so complex, but look at yourself as something of value. And now I understand the reason I keep finding myself in these positions is because I don't see myself as valuable. I am worthless. And that realization shook me. Because I have spent so much time thinking that I was worth something to so many people, that I was worth love and time and energy and blah, blah, blah. And I gave, so I was expecting to receive. But then I realized most people in my life are superficial as fuck. There is no sincerity in the love they give. And I told my best friend yesterday, I called him and I told him, you don't love me. My best friend of 10 years, I told him, you don't love me, you love you. And you love that I love you. And that's why we can talk on the phone for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And I will talk about 15, 30 minutes about what's going on. And the rest of it is about you, about what you're going through, about everything else. You don't love me. You love that I love you. And you know, because I love you and I'm a sincere person, I will give you all the time, all the energy, everything, every part of me. And you have to give very little back. You don't love me. You love you. And you love that I love you. But you don't love me. If you love me, You will be investing in me. You will be watering me. You will be showing time. You will be showing up. You will be focusing on me. You will be focusing on my dreams too and what I'm going through. You don't love me. And that's what I kid you guys not. And it was scary because I cried for like, I cried for like a whole week. I cried for like a whole week. You don't love me. You love that I love you. And when you look at a lot of your relationships, you come and realize that that's the truth. But then on another hand, I'm giving them an opportunity, and everybody, I cuss some of them out and I block them out. Most of them they got blocked out. But there are a few that I'm given an opportunity, and I'm watching now to see how it goes. I have told them what I need from them, each and every single one of them. My dad has already met his end of the bargain, so my dad is in a safe zone. My mom is in a safe zone, and I have a Capricorn friend that's in a safe zone. Everybody else that is intimate to me, I've already told them what I need from them. And I'm waiting and seeing. And I've told them by midnight into 2020, if you are not in line, you are dead to me. And I mean that with every fiber of my being. If you don't fall in line, and it might sound like I'm controlling or whatever, no. If I know my value now, and I have given you way too much value in my life for you to treat me like shit, if you don't fall in line, by midnight, I have given you time to figure out how to get yourself in line. By midnight, going into 2020, you are dead to me. It doesn't mean I don't love you anymore, but it means I will love you all the way from heaven, and you can stay in the hell that you're in. Your pain is no longer my pain. Your love is no longer my love. Your time is no longer my time. Your trials and tribulations are no longer mine, because I have taken them on every single instance and time, and you have not for me. Narcissists, they get it. The rest of us, we need to start getting it. The world is not a kind place. People are not good. People have the potential to be good. They also have the potential to be bad. But it's not about what is potential, it's about what they practice. Know the difference between potential and practice. What do they practice? And how you will know sincerity versus superficiality when you tell people that are sincere about how you feel and how it affects you, they will listen and they will adjust. It's not about talking. To me, and I've told some of my friends that talking, all this, blah, 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 that shit don't mean nothing to me anymore. You're just making noise. I am watching action. Put it into practice. Walk the talk from here on out. And I am doing it as well. No more free readings, no more. And even if I choose to, then it's something that I will meditate on, and I will decide for myself that, okay, I can afford to do this and not feel depleted, and not feel taken advantage of, and not feel abused. I can afford to do this and be happy, and even though it will cost me money and time and energy, but I will get emotional satisfaction out of it. Do you kind of get what I mean? People value what is valuable. Love those who love you. Wish the rest the best. Like, it's so insane that it took me this long to realize this. And you can talk about, well, we are a community and blah, blah, blah. Yes, we're a community, but the truth of the matter is, you were born, that you weren't born with the rest of the world, were you, bitch? Were you? Did you come out of your mother's vagina with everybody else? Have you ever met anybody else on this planet that has your DNA? I'm waiting. Have you ever met anybody else in this world that thinks exactly like you, looks exactly like you, talks exactly like you, has your DNA? Have you ever met anyone like that? No. That's because you are on a path and on a journey alone. Your growth, your spiritual lessons, alone. Not your soulmate, not your twin flame, nobody. Alone. Not your children, not your husband, not your wife. Alone. Your journey is alone. you will interact and impact other people's journeys, but your journey is alone. So surround yourself with people that are willing to help you on your journey and build you up on your journey and support you when you fall on your journey, and be willing to do the same for them. But it is your journey alone. Help those who help you. Love those who love you. Be present for those who are present for you. Invest in those who invest in you. Water and watch them grow those who water and watch you grow. And wish the rest the best. Because whether or not, however it plays out, their journey is still their journey. And even if you don't do it, it's kind of like how sometimes we think, oh my God, if I don't go to work, the workplace is going to fall apart. No, bitch. If they'll fire you, they'll replace you in 2 seconds. If you die, they'll replace you in 2 seconds. You're not as valuable as you think. And again, but you're not as valuable to them as you think. But then you have to also, again, it's a thing about value, isn't it? It really is all about value. Because you have to be valuable to yourself enough to know that if I'm sick, even though I want to go to work, even though I know they might need me and I have a part to play, if I'm sick, I value me, I value my life, I value my health. So you guys can do you for a while I get myself together. And if they value you, they will understand that. And if they don't value you, they will cause a ruckus. Like I said, you will be able to tell the difference between people that are superficial and people that are sincere. Because a sincere person will adjust. A superficial person will look for every excuse in the book. They will deny it. They will twist it. They will make you think you're crazy. It will be everything except what it is. They will go into defense mode. It will be everything except what it is. And I'm realizing now in my life that I am surrounded on a work level, on a friendship level, on an intimacy level. I'm surrounded with superficial people. But I can't blame them for that, because I have taught them quite literally how to treat me. Every time I gave my penny away and I didn't get back. And if a person cannot appreciate this penny, they cannot appreciate $1 billion, because every billion builds up from a penny. This penny I have in my hand, $1 billion is just what, 999.9999999999999 pennies put together. Essentially, that's what $1 billion is. And if you cannot if you cannot appreciate, if I give you this penny and you throw it back, and you will notice even with some homeless people, you will give them money and they'll be like, "This is all you got." If you cannot appreciate this penny, then you will not appreciate my billion, and you will abuse me. If you abuse this penny, you abuse my billion. Because everything that I am, everything that I give, starts with this penny, this simple act of kindness, this thing that you may not see as valuable, but is everything to me, this penny. Love those who love you. Wish the rest the best. People value what is valuable. And it's not money. Money is the lower rank of value. It's about time. It's about energy. It's about who you are and how you show up and how you love and how you hate. It's about you in your purest, most honest form. You are the value. People value what is valuable. When you stop seeing your value, you become worthless. Have you ever gone into someone's house and you couldn't even sit around? Like, have you ever gone into someone's house or been in someone's car or in their space and you couldn't act a certain way because the house was just so spotless? Like, they don't have to tell you. You just know to sit up straight. And how you know when a person is not self-aware or they are superficial is when they come and they see all of that and they still don't get the message and they start to act some kind of way. you can tell right then that they don't respect your space. It gets easier with time. Trust me, by the third time, I implore you to apply this to your life. And by the third person you cut out, or by the third person you realize, or by the person, I guarantee you, if you employ this in your life right now, by January, by January, you will see a huge shift in those that are around you and those that are not, and in how you value yourself and how much more peaceful your life feels and seems to be. People value what is valuable. Value yourself. If you cannot do that, then you can't be mad that other people don't. Love yourself. Everything that you are, everything that you give comes from you. You don't love Johnny because Johnny has a big dick. You don't love Janet because Janet can move, and she got the Asian persuasion. I top this white, this hoes. I have to be freaky because I'm sexy. Do you like my style? Sorry, that's Janet Jackson. I'm sorry. I love Janet Jackson. I'm sorry, guys. But you don't love Janet Jackson or you don't love Janet because Janet has a big booty, or Janet knows how to move, or Janet. No, that's what Janet is. You love Janet because Janet is appeasing, or something about Janet appeases you. It's exciting to you. It's about you. You don't like Janet because Janet is who she is. You like Janet because of you and what you think is attractive and what you think is beautiful and what you think is cool. You don't like them because of them. You like them because of you. Everything that you are comes from you. The love you give comes from you. Everything. So if you cannot even understand something as simple as your value, then you are worthless. And you deserve to be treated like shit. Because you are shit. And that's what I realized for myself. That I am worthless. And I am shit. And now, that is changing. Wait, this is 1 cent. I've been talking about a penny and this is a cent. Whatever. It's a penny to me. That's my point. But everything that I keep saying a penny and it's just but everything that I am. So sorry guys, someone is sending me a message, a client of mine. And everything that you are and everything that you're ever going to be is that. That's I don't know how else to explain it without sounding too, like I'm repeating myself so much. But this is why narcissists are great. And this is why narcissists thrive. And this is why good guys finish last. And this is why good men die young. And this is why. Because 99.99999999999% of us don't understand that we have value. And that's why it's so easy for us to be used and abused, and we end up so broken and poor, whether emotionally, physically, mentally. We end up poor because we don't know our value. Anyways, that's all I've said. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you want a private reading, check the description box down below. If you want a ritual, check the description box down below. Like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instant Go. That's all. Please do comment your thoughts on this. Actually, this video could be so much longer. There's so many things I want to talk about, and I'm sure as I get off right now, I'm gonna start thinking of all the other things I wanted to talk about and all the other things I want to, examples I wanted to use. But it's just like, I think it's like beating a dead horse, and most of you might not even get to this point, but that's whatever. Thank you guys so much for being here. I just pray that the universe helps me get this message to one person so I can save one person from going through the agony I just went through. And when I tell you the agony, from going through the agony I just went through this month, it was agonizing. I literally thought I was gonna die. No, like I thought, like I couldn't move. I called my mom. I called my friend, the Capricorn, and I told her, please tell my mom I said I'm sorry. And then I called my mom because I thought I was gonna die. It was intense. But that's the energy of Scorpio, right? Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, that's the death. And for me, and for actually another friend that I know that is a Virgo, she actually had a similar experience of, she had to be rushed to the hospital, of thinking she was gonna die. I almost got rushed to the hospital, but I'm broke, so I ain't got money for that. You know, I ain't got money for them bills. I would rather die than have to pay them bills. Because if I live and I have to pay them bills, then I'm living a miserable life. If I'm dead, then I'm free. Please, you know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope it made sense. I hope you guys had fun, and I hope what I said hit a spot. And yes, I know a lot of you are gonna have a lot of different things to say and but all I'm gonna do is just tell you that your paradigm simply hasn't shifted. You haven't gotten there yet, and that's just what it is. And I've come to learn not to try to force people into things, because just as, like I said, that people would rather believe that the Illuminati and everything else is causing global warming, except, even with all the pictures of, and you go to the beach and you see all the plastic and everything else is to blame except the truth. So will some people try to twist it and mix it and blah blah blah, except the truth. I don't care about your feelings. I care about the truth, and I've spoken the truth. And when you get to my level, you will understand the truth. Until then, good luck. Thank you guys. Bye bye.